Hey everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at something different, as well as a little bit of story behind things. This here is the Diamond Blade Knives Fury in the automatic configuration. But before we get into it, I want to kind of tell you guys a little bit about Diamond Blade, a little bit of the experience that I've been having with Diamond Blade, just to kind of clue you guys in. So, Diamond Blade is a company that's been around for a while. The exact amount of years I don't know, but it's been quite significant. Probably the last almost 2 decades. It's been a while. It's been significant. They've been around since the early '90s. What Diamond Blade is they're a company that pioneered a innovative means of creating a blade and allowing it to get extremely sharp and extremely tough with a high hardness so that it could achieve results far beyond what knife would be with a traditional heat treatment. So Diamond Blades uses D2 steel, which has been around for a good couple decades or so. And D2 typically has a heat treat of 58, 60 maybe. So these guys, rather than using machines to machine the amount of steel off their blanks and then heat treating to said amount, what they do is they heat treat the stock at a lower HRC, like in the 30s, if I remember correctly. And then they use a machine which does what they call friction forging. And what that has a spinning head that rotates and grinds away the metal necessary to create the bevel on the knife edge, as well as hardening it at the same time. Doing so creates some unusual properties. Creating the edge with the friction forging allows the edge to reach an HRC of upwards of 57, and somehow it allows only the edge, to be stainless, extremely stainless. As with the rest of the knife, we all know about D2. D2 is a semi-stainless. So if we do not take care of it, care after it, it's going to start getting little speckles of rust and so on and so forth. So I had reached out to Diamond Blade because I was curious about their products. I wanted to try some of their products. So the first knife I got my hands on was the Victor. There's a review up at multitool.org for those that want to read the review of the Victor. The Victor was fine. It was very 90s-ish, very like, if I had a Marico knife from the 90s, early 2000s, that is exactly what I would think that knife would look like, which is good and bad. It's good because it shows that the company's been around for a long time and they still hold true to the company that they've always been. Bad because the rest of the knife industry is moving at an insane pace, and people like Diamond Blade aren't willing to play catch up, aren't willing to try and get with the rest of the industry. So the Victor, I liked the Victor. The Victor was cool. It was different. It was very retro. But I had an issue with the lock. The lock bar would move to the very center of the blade tang, and whenever I open it up, I can hear an audible ping where the lock bar wasn't even touching the back of the knife tang. It was kind of there. Like I actually had up and down motion on the blade. I had vertical play. So I sent it back. They initially said, "Oh, we don't see anything wrong with that." So I had spoke with the owner concerning this, and he says he'll take another look at it because he says, "No, that's unacceptable. Have an up and down play, and this is unacceptable." Why didn't you know it the first time? Yes, this video is going to be about a bit of a dig, but it is what it is. So this is the Fury Auto. The Fury comes in a manual configuration or the auto configuration. I wanted to do an auto just for something different because they have autos, and I wanted to test them out. So the issue that I had was whenever I would go to deploy the blade wasn't coming out. The blade was seemingly mysteriously stuck in the handle even though the button was fully depressed. Best the owner Charles could come up with was he thinks some Loctite had gotten on the spring or in the pivot somehow, and the blade was actually getting like sticky to that area and wasn't allowing to be launched, which is crazy because the amount of inertia that is exhibited by the spring in this knife, you wouldn't think such a thing would happen, but it is what it is. I've been using this knife enough lately over the last week to really break it in, and that stickiness has dissipated. So I think that's good. So aside from that, so the Fury is a pretty simple, uninteresting design. I think the milled areas versus the black is kind of a neat look. I wish the back side looked about the same as the front side. I like the design. Like the Victor, is a very classic, very timeless, something you would expect since the knife industry really began to boom in the 90s. Um, the screws here are just to hold this mechanism here. That's what that screw is. It holds all that behind there. This helps hold the back of the body together. This looks like it's a copper backspacer there. I don't like the pocket clip. The pocket clip, to me, in this day and age, should be a deep carry. That's not a deep carry, obviously. I have flared out the end of this a little bit to make sure it goes in my pocket easier because it was a pain to try and get in my pocket. I still can't figure out what screw size these are. These are Allens. I want to be able to put this, I want to be able to increase the tension on this a little bit more. So I've yet to be able to do that because of this crazy, insanely small, non-standard pocket clip screw. But anyways. So to deploy the knife like any other automatic, you would release the safety and press the button and pow, open it comes. So I'll let you guys kind of get a look, and I may have to turn on this zoom in so you guys can see the friction forged area. Hang tight. You guys can see that line going from the tang all the way to the tip. So right up in there. That is where that friction forged area is. And it's a crazy cool idea. I mean, to take D2 and give it an HRC of 57 is quite a bold statement. And it does hold an insane edge. It is ground at probably 18 degrees per side. And it is a little devil. It will cut like crazy. It's probably just about a perfect pocket knife. If I could get a deep carry clip on this joker, it would be a decent pocket knife, I have to say. But the reason I made this video is, you know, those who have never heard about Diamond Blade want to know a little bit about their QC issues, maybe a little bit about their history. I know the company will make it right. They have an outstanding warranty department from what I'm told. And I have another gentleman on, I think it was Reddit, who wanted to track my history on this because he likes to know how companies treat people after they bought a knife, and he hadn't had a whole lot of people mention Diamond Blade. So this is good. We get to see how things operate. We get to see how things go. So I will keep you guys updated as well as to how this goes. If they rectify the problem with the Victor. As for this, I'm gonna see if they can, you know, make a short, deep carry clip. You know, if you were to take this and bend it over and bring it so it comes to about here, I could deal with a little tiny Benchmade type clip, you know, or maybe I'll have to make one. But the Furiato is a really cool knife when it's working correctly. I'm going to see if I could stitch in the video of the knife blade not launching properly. I may or may not. I guess we'll see. But there you go, guys. This is a short little introduction to Diamond Blade as a company. By the way, they also own Knives of Alaska too. So if you guys end up looking them up, that's who they're also associated with. You guys want to know anything else, let me know. Thank you.